You ever feel it? That little nagging thought in the back of your mind. That feeling that things are kind of heading for a cliff. It's a very modern anxiety for sure, but we're going to look at it through a really old lens, the Norse myth of Ragnarok.
Yeah, it's a feeling you probably know all too well. It's in the headlines you scroll past. It's in the conversations you have. It's just this constant background hum that says the world is on kind of shaky ground. And it's so easy to just write that off as stress. But what if it's an echo of something ancient?
And that, of course, leads to the big one, right? The question that probably keeps some of us up at night. Are we just another generation that's convinced the sky is falling? Or is there something truly, uniquely final about the challenges we're facing today? Well, that's exactly what we're here to figure out.
So to get a handle on all this present-day anxiety, we've actually got to travel back in time. We're going to start with one of the OG blueprints for the end of the world, the Norse prophecy of Ragnarok.
Now here's the most important thing you need to know about Ragnarok. It's not just about the destruction, the endless winter, the huge battles, gods dying. It's about what comes after. See, it's a cycle. The end isn't really the end. It's more like a violent cosmic reset button, so a new and hopefully better world can begin.
And you know what? The Norse were not alone in thinking this way. I mean, from Mayan prophecies about calendars ending to the biblical book of Revelation, cultures all over the world came up with these epic end-of-days stories. And they all have two things in common: a deep human fear of the unknown, but also, and this part is key, a little glimmer of hope for what comes next.
All right, so let's fast forward. How does this ancient cycle of fear actually look today? How do those primal worries about everything ending show up in the 21st century?
Well, the packaging has totally changed, but the feeling inside is exactly the same. Where our ancestors were terrified of angry gods, we're terrified of climate collapse. Where they worried about a prophecy not coming true, we're worried about AI becoming too powerful. The language is more scientific now, sure, but that feeling of dread, it's hauntingly familiar.
And let's be honest, we've been here before. So many times. Remember the Y2K bug? The panic that all our computers would just stop? Or the whole 2012 thing with the Mayan calendar? It seems like every generation has its own personal apocalypse, its own Ragnarok that, in the end, never actually shows up.
So it really makes you wonder, right? Is this just part of being human? I mean, psychologically, it kind of makes sense. Our brains are literally wired for survival, which means they're always scanning for threats. Maybe thinking about the ultimate threat, the end of everything, is just that survival instinct kicked into overdrive.
But, and this is a really big but, what if this time is different? It's so easy to get comfortable and just say, we've survived these doomsday scares before. But we have to ask, honestly, are the challenges we see coming really the same as the ones from the past?
The simple truth is, we're dealing with forces and technologies that have absolutely no historical precedent. None. The old maps are useless here. We are in completely uncharted territory, and just assuming things will work out like they did before, well, that could be a really dangerous mistake.
I mean, these are not your great-great-grandparents' apocalyptic fears. We're talking about the potential for AI that could blow past human intelligence, novel viruses that could spread around the entire world in a matter of hours, and a kind of global political instability that's more fragile than anything we've ever seen.
And maybe the most critical difference of all is this: our biggest risks are no longer separate problems. As you can see here, things like the economy, the climate, and political extremism are all dangerously tangled together. A crisis in one area doesn't just stay there, it creates a domino effect, triggering crises in all the others. We're not facing one threat, we're facing the risk of the whole system breaking down.
Okay, I know that sounds incredibly bleak, but the story absolutely does not have to end there. Because understanding the risks, that's the first step. That's what lets us move from just being scared to actually doing something, and maybe finally stepping out of Ragnarok's shadow. We have to remember this: throughout all of human history, we have faced what looked like impossible challenges. Our superpower as a species isn't just surviving, it's our amazing ability to adapt, to innovate, and to overcome. We aren't defined by our fears, we're defined by how we respond to them.
So how do we do it? Well, the way forward means taking action on every level. It starts with us as individuals, making more sustainable choices. It gets stronger when we come together and get involved civically. And it really takes off when we use our incredible ingenuity to create the technology that can solve these huge problems.
This right here is the ultimate point. Unlike the gods in that Ragnarok myth, we are not stuck with a fixed prophecy. We are the ones writing our own story. The future isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we build together, starting right now.
Think about it. All those ancient stories had that promise of a new world rising from the ashes of the old. So the question for us, the challenge for our generation is this: what new world are we going to choose to build? And what will our story be?